to say I'm very well, but I'm good.
How are you in terms of finance, health, relationships?
In terms of finance, it's still a work in progress. I have made a number of financial mistakes, some that I will have to live with for a few years, and others that is just an easy bounce back. But it's all a part of the game of life. You live and you learn. I try to save a lot, so I do save from the little I make. My health, where my health is concerned, I've actually been very, very good. So a few years ago, or maybe 2 years ago, I've always had some strange health hiccups. I've not had any of those within the past year. Anything major, that is. Relationships in terms of what? Intimate, family, friends.
Just like that.
So in terms of my family, I still have a very strong relationship with my family, who I absolutely miss. I haven't seen them over a year, and it is something that puts me into this very this zone where I'm just like, I miss them and I want to go home, particularly because when I used to live in Jamaica and living in another parish, every time I felt sad or every time things were just not going very well, my escape was always going to Clarendon, and I felt like that fixed everything. So I have a bad week, just know that the weekend I'm going to Clarendon. Something is going on in my life where I just feel like this is it, I'll go to Clarendon, and it just always fixes it. I don't know. So like now in this space where I have bad days or a bad week, I can't just say I'm going to go to Jamaica for the weekend. You know what I mean? So yeah, we still communicate on the phone. It's always a vibe. I always feel like, you know, I'm right there with them, but I'm not right there with them, if you know what I mean. In terms of relationships with my friends, it's crazy. So there are people who I thought I'd be friends with forever, and people who I've had great friendship with for more than a century. No, not a century. 10 years ago again.
A century? No.
Oh, not a century.
decade.
People who, you know, I was friends with for more than a decade, and we're just not friends anymore. Like the past year has revealed so much to me. No longer talk to people who I used to talk to every day, and that's okay. Other people who I was just okay with, we have formed a stronger relationship, and I just feel like it's just a part of life. I'm growing, they're growing, we don't see eye to eye anymore, we don't share the same dreams and visions and aspirations, goals are different, we're just in different spaces and places, and it's what it is.
You mentioned it. You moved away from family and started a new life in another country. How have you dealt with, or how are you dealing with the transition, both personally and professionally?
Alright, so the transition personally, first of all, I try to focus on my why. I really try to focus on my why. So every time I feel like, what the hell I'm doing, I remember my why. Why did I choose to pack up and move to a whole different place where my very, very close family are not here with me? I just focus on my why. I focus on the reasons I made this decision in the first place. The main one being better opportunities for myself, which will, you know, allow me to create better environment for my family. As it relates to professionally, I'm still learning how to deal with that one, because sometimes I'm like, I hate this job, I don't want to be doing this, and some mornings or afternoons it's really a pain going to work. But then at this moment I'm motivated by money, and it may sound that way to some people, but it is really what motivates me in the morning to get up and go to work. The joy of being able to give myself whatever I want, the joy of being able to, help my family here and there. So yeah, I try to make my why motivate me and the money. I mean, eventually I hope to be doing something within my career or within, the realm of what I studied, but right now it's not that. And I'm not going to, beat up myself. Life is fluid and I'm willing to go wherever the waves take me.
Life is fluid indeed, and it comes with different challenges.
Yes.
What are some of the major challenges in your life?
In terms of what? It's just very weird, but currently the major challenge I have is just I don't have that ease of access to say, okay, go see my family today. As I explained previously, where every single time I feel some kind of way, going to Clarendon to itch up under my mother's arm was my fix. I don't have that anymore, or I can't go as often as I would want to. Another challenge I'm having, I think I may have said this before, but just like adjusting to the professional part of it, not liking the job, and just trying to be motivated by the money I make there and what it allows me to do.
Then what are some of the most important lessons you've learned in life thus far?
The biggest one is probably that life doesn't always give you what you pray for, work for, or hope for. Because I used to be very career oriented. I spent a lot of time and money on getting a good education, on earning a bachelor's degree and a master's degree, and I'm just not using either of them anymore. Them just did it, So life never gave me the career I wanted, at least not right now. It gave me something completely different. And you know what's crazy about it all too? In this industry that I'm now working in, I'm growing significantly. Like it's just crazy. I don't want to go into the specifics, but God has been good in terms of, growing in that industry, but it's not what I hoped for. It's not what I worked for, but it's what I have right now. And I'm just learning to really make use of it, enjoy it in this moment. Maybe there are other lessons that I'm supposed to learn from this moment. So that's the biggest one. Life doesn't always give you what you pray for, work for, hope for. Sometimes it seems to give you what you're willing to take.
Do you have that quote written or copyrighted somewhere?
No, that quote, I got that quote from, I went to a Bold Leaders workshop in Washington, D.C. a few years ago. And one of the coaches, that was something that they taught us, just about life, and I'm living it right now. So it just come back to me like.
What makes Kamisha the happiest?
What makes me the happiest? Well, obviously I have a number of things that make me happy, but what makes me happiest is being around my family, being around my mommy and my daddy and my sister and my brother. They really are my entire world. They really are my entire world. Being around them makes me happiest.
Now, it's 25 years, Kamisha. How does it feel to be 25 years old?
Okay, so first of all, this is not the 25 I dreamt of. Like, this is not it at all. Like, I don't know if it's only me, but we had this: married by 25, big house by 25, nice car by 25, fat bank account by 25, living the life by 25. Girl, Mr. Othniel, ladies and gentlemen, not even half of that. I mean, I drive a nice car. I'm not living in my own house. It's an apartment. I'm not married, obviously. I don't have kids, don't really want kids, but it's just that the things I envision 25 to be, it ain't it. At this moment, I'm in a space where I feel like I'm still uncertain about where I am. Like, at 25, I still feel like a little girl. I still feel, in terms of like what I thought it would be. But one thing I can say for sure is that 25 has been, or the previous year that is, leading up to this 25, it has been a year of complete chaos, highs, extreme highs, very low lows. It has been a year that has really brought me face to face with who I am now. And it's funny because the other day I was talking to a friend about, you know, just how much my life has changed and how much when I look on some of my pictures, the person I am in those pictures, that's not the person I am right now.
Has changed about the person.
So what has changed about the person is the person's perception of life. Like, life is not linear. So it's not going to be, it's good now, it gets better. No, that's not how it is. It's good now, then it drops to this very bad place, and then it goes back to being good, and then it gets better, and then it goes back to this place where, like, okay, God, what are you doing? Like, what's going on? Just the other day, I feel like a few months ago, I was at one of the highest points in my life. Things were going so good. The blessings were just coming in. And then after that point, it was like, okay, God, what you do? Yeah, bless me or you not bless me? Where you really do? One of the, and I don't even want to talk about this because I feel like it's going to make me a little bit emotional, but I met in a car accident about 3 weeks ago. About 3 weeks ago. And that accident has literally changed me. It's crazy, but it really has changed me. I thought I was dead. When I stepped out of the car and I was talking to the police officers and the doctors and whatever, I was like, the only sentence I remember repeating about 3 times was, I thought I died. I thought I died. I thought I died. Because my car was hit so hard by another car. It was just spinning with me in there. I don't know what happened. All I can say is God saved me at that point. And then it just brought me to question my life. Am I actually happy? Am I actually living this life for me? If I should die today, what legacy would I have left behind? How many people would I have helped? How many people would I have, impacted in some kind of way? So yeah, that was a very crazy experience for me. And the devil had his plans. He really had his plans, because driving, I feel so timid now. Like, there are times when I'm like, I don't want to crash. Am I going to crash again? And every time I pass the spot where the accident happened, I literally just I just want to freeze, But God, honestly, God.
After the accident, you're thinking about, what would my legacy be? How many people would I have impacted? Why are you concerned about impacting others' lives?
Because I don't feel like we live our lives for ourselves. There is this quote by Ubuntu that I absolutely love. I am because we are. No man is an island, no man stand alone. So if you're living your life and you're just going through it, like not thinking about helping anybody else or not thinking about leaving any kind of impact on anybody else, then you need to do some kind of reevaluation. But I try my best to make sure that, not that I'm going to fake it or whatever, but I want to be able to, for somebody to say, because of her, I did not give up. I also was thinking about too, in that accident, have I actually lived? I am living, but have I actually lived any meaningful life? Because currently, the people who are closest to me know that my life right now is go to work, come home, go to work, come home. I don't spend a lot of time really living, if you know what I mean.
Let's reflect, then come back to the present. Think about 16-year-old Kamisha Ellis. 25-year-old Kamisha Ellis. Do you believe 16-year-old Kamisha is proud of the Kamisha today, and give reasons for your answer?
Absolutely. 16-year-old Kamisha is definitely proud of 25-year-old Kamisha. 16-year-old Kamisha was more concerned about what he thinks, she thinks, what the old lady thinks. 25-year-old Kamisha does not. 25-year-old Kamisha loves people, but she's not a people pleaser. 16-year-old Kamisha, I remember she went to Mrs. Julal's office, Mrs. Julal is now the principal of Denby High School. I went to her office and I said to her, I was supposed to enter a competition. I don't remember what competition it was. And I said to her, Miss, I don't want to do this because the pitting them say me enough and everything me in that and blah, blah, blah. And she gave me a whole lecture about, you know, being enough is good and being enough and blah, blah, blah. Now, if somebody said, probably they still say I'm enough, but I don't care now. I'm not going to run to anybody and cry now. 25-year-old Kamisha is very determined. 25-year-old Kamisha is a realist. I take things for what they are. I don't try to be, how do I put this? I really just take things for how they are and try my best to find the good in it. You know, I don't try to fake situations. It is what it is, and what you see is literally what you get. 25-year-old Kamisha is still very hungry for a different kind of success. 25-year-old Kamisha is doing it. 25-year-old Kamisha is living life with what I have.
You talk about a different kind of success.
Mm-hmm.
What's next for you educationally, professionally?
So in 2 months, I will complete my master's degree. In July, I'll complete my master's degree. That's a master's in integrated marketing communications. And I hope to, in another 2 years or 3 years or 4 years or however long it takes, I hope to be Dr. Kamisha Ellis. And you know what? I may not use any of these things, but nobody can take it from me. I remember I was having a conversation with someone not too long ago, and the person was saying to me, see, it's the way I don't know, you never need to go, you will go getting a degree and this and that and blah blah blah. And I said to the person, okay, take it from me now. Take the degree from me. Take it from me. Call it null and void. You can't. Because that is something that nobody can take from me. And any investment in yourself is always a very good investment. So I may not be using it now, but I intend to use it one day. So that's what's next in terms of, you know, professional certification. In terms of career, I hope to one day be doing something that I absolutely love, something in the field of marketing, public relations, and communications.
Who are the people who add the most meaning to your life?
That is such an amazing question. First, me have to big up God, because there are so many things that came my way that were meant to destroy me that God didn't allow to destroy me. So many weapons formed that he did not allow to prosper, and that added value to my life. You know, the devil wanted to destroy me. God said, no, not this one. And, you know, I'm here today. So God first and foremost. And then my parents. Let's talk about my mother. Like, my mom has literally been my anchor. My mom has literally been my person. Like, through every dark moments in my life, I can always depend on my mother to be there with and for me. It's kind of like, I don't know, I feel like my mother is like my angel on earth. So I work a job, my hours are kind of out of the ordinary, and every night my mother would make sure she called me just as I'm about to step into the parking lot. She calls me and she stays on the phone with me until I get home. No, that says to me, this woman loves me and cares about me and wants to make sure I'm okay. If I'm crying, my mother is going to cry too. If I'm happy, my mother is happy. If I'm sad, she's sad. So she's literally my person, honestly. And having her love and support adds a lot of value to my life. And then let's talk about my superhero daddy. Like, my father has made so many sacrifices in his lifetime for not just me, but all of his children. The way my father loves my mother, it adds value to my life because I know how a man should love a woman. The way my father takes care of his family, it sets the bar so high, because if my husband is not going to take care of my family the way my father does it, then no, baby. And then, of course, my siblings, who bring me the absolute most joy and pride. Like, my little brother is like my son. Like, I make sure he's good. Anything Joshua wants, him I gonna get, period.
Yeah. You're still fresh, my G. Fresh.
I'm gonna make sure that my siblings have experiences that my parent couldn't afford to allow me. I'm going to make sure my little brother especially has every single thing he thinks he needs and wants, because he's a good kid and he deserves it. So I'm here to make sure he's straight, and seeing him happy makes me happy too. So I'll do whatever it costs to protect him and make sure he feels loved and appreciated. And then my little sister, she's growing into a fine young lady, and I'm so proud of her.
Happy birthday, Kim. I'm excited. So I just got back from work, and I was thinking that instead of just creating some of our favorite memories and putting together with you know, joining them together, I'm probably still gonna do that. But I felt that I had to show and tell you how much I feel, and just writing a paragraph, you know, probably not show me emotions that much. But yeah, you're 25, girl. You're almost 30 years old. But who's counting? Girl, I love you. 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 And it is a pleasure to have you as my big sister. You know, the example that you set for me. And even when persons around me pressure me to show me how much you have accomplished and what you have done, you never, ever, ever in no way say that I have to be you and do what you do. You always encourage me to walk my own path and move at my own pace. And just do me and do what makes me happy, because at the end of the day, what really matters is me being happy, and I appreciate that from you. You can be a pain in the damn ass. You are a pain in the ass sometimes. Girl, if you want good to know that phone, sometimes I want to sit down and relax and figure out about the whole school and the book. Are you that na me as well? But but yeah, I appreciate that so much. I appreciate that so much. Seeing you grown so much and put so much pressure on yourself to accomplish what you have accomplished thus far, and all your efforts and your time was worth it. I am proud of you. You have accomplished so much for your age. I mean, girl is almost 2 degrees hotter, and another one on the way. I mean, move at your own pace. Love that for you. You're a very good example. You epitomize what it means to be true to yourself, and you know, not so concerned about what others want to say. And I love that about you. I mean, you're blunt as hell and can be a pain in the damn ass. I mean, you're getting older. Turn it down a notch. Please stay out of my ass. Okay, that's on why. Admire how strong you are. I mean, you left us for 2 years. I can't stop. And you moved to a new city. I mean, adulthood, you handled it so well. I couldn't do it, but you did. I'm proud of you. I mean, I haven't seen you for 2 years. I can't wait. Yeah, I can't stop. I love you. Just know that I love you, and I admire how strong you are, your strength, and how much you have done for yourself. And you put so much pressure on yourself, but I also to remind you that you are the it girl. You can get it if you really want it. And I'm proud of you. How much time I can say I'm proud of you? But yeah, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. You're 25. I want to remind you that you have time. You still have time. You're in your 20 something. You have accomplished a lot more than your for your age in comparison to others. And no comparison to thief of joy, but it's just to show you how much you have grown and how much you're doing for your young age. And I mean, you're doing it, and who could it be but you and God? So yeah, continue to be the caring, kind, selfless person that you are. And I admire how much you try to help others, even when you can't even help. But yeah, I love that about you. And I think that's what keeps your blessing coming too. How much you care for others and try to help out as much as you can. I love our relationship, and I hope it will get stronger from here. And you know, I absolutely adore you. I hope God enlighten your path with, you know, all the things, good things in life.
I feel like my parents and myself did a good job raising her. She's very witty, she's very spicy, but she's also so sweet and caring, and having her on my team adds value to my life.
To end Tell us why you decided to have this conversation.
So I decided to have this conversation because of just how my life has taken an absolute different turn. Like, my life has taken a direction that if someone told me a few years ago that this is where I'd be and this is what I'd be doing, I'd probably tell them, no ma'am, no sir. But here we are today, and I wouldn't change much about the experience. I feel like this is where I'm supposed to be at this time in my life, and there are so many lessons that I have learned already, and I know for sure that there are so many more that I'm yet to learn. The life I envisioned for myself, it's not the life I'm living now, but it is what it is. And I find comfort and joy in the Bible scripture that says, for I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you bright hope and a future. So I know God is not done with me yet, and this wasn't in my plan, but it is in his plans, and it is what's happening right now. So I'm rolling with it, and I'm willing to go wherever the waves of life take me. I'm also doing this interview because I want people to know that it's okay to redirect. It's okay to walk a different path. It's okay to not be doing what people expect you to be doing. You just really have to trust the process and trust your journey, which may be very different from the one you envisioned for yourself or the ones other people thought you'd be doing. Because there are so many people who are shocked when, they don't see or hear my name in certain rooms, in certain spaces and places. And I'm like, don't be shocked. This is where my life is right now. And my partner made a valuable point one time. He said, would you rather to be dressing in your suit and your pants and this and that and your heels and your nice bag, going to work and making nothing? Or would you rather be dressing how you're dressing now for work, just simple and casual and clean, and be making 3 times as much as you would have made in that job? And my why motivates me to not be bothered by exactly what I'm doing now, but what it is giving me, the opportunities it's giving me, and how it's enabling me to provide for my family in a certain way, provide for myself, because right now I spoil myself. Like, anything I want, I get myself. I don't think twice about it many times, and perhaps that's my own downfall sometimes, but I tell myself that I only live once, and I'm gonna live it up.
Thank you so very much for talking with me this evening. And I must add, I'm proud of you.
Oh,
and you're
thank
doing
you.
well
Thank
at
you.
this thing called life.
Thank you. And I must add also that Othniel has really been... Othniel has passed the friend stage. Othniel is literally family now. He did not hesitate to sit here with me this evening, though it was last minute. I think I asked him, and last time I asked her this morning.
This morning.
Or this afternoon, but I told him I asked him, and he never hesitated to make it happen. And honestly, we need people like these in our lives, people who are willing to show up for us. Another part of the story, the internet at Othniel's house is doing its own thing right now, and he left his house and went to his office to join me on Zoom for this interview. And honestly, thank you, Othniel. So it's friends like Othniel we need in our corner, what we know say, them are gonna come through for we and make things happen. So thank you to Othniel for being here with me. And as I close this video, I just want you guys to take this little gem with you. And as I shared earlier in this interview, it's one of the biggest lessons I've learned. Life is fluid, and it's not going to always give you what you pray for or what you work for or hope for. Sometimes life is simply going to give you what you're willing to take. And then you gotta sometimes just roll with it and ask yourself, okay, how am I going to readjust? How am I going to deal with this going forward? Because honestly, it's just life doing what life does, and you really gotta just do what you gotta do. Some days I break down and I cry when life hits me, and I'm like, okay, life, yeah, do me real bad now, and it punches me again. It's not sorry for me, punch me again, and then I have to get up and say, okay, hit me harder. And sometimes I literally straight in the face and say, okay, you have anything stronger? And when next time I go in one corner, I go hide and say, ease up now. But all in all, I bounce back and I understand that, listen, you gotta get up again and go harder the next time. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have not, what did I say? Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have not yet subscribed, don't forget to do that. And as I always say, love and light always.